This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. The luxury watch market saw an unprecedented surge during the pandemic, particularly for sought-after brands like Rolex, Patek Philippe, and Audemars Piguet. Prices skyrocketed as demand outstripped supply. However, this was an anomaly rather than a new normal. As economic conditions changed, with factors like rising interest rates and global economic uncertainty, the market began to correct itself. This correction has led to a decrease in prices for many luxury watches, including Rolex models. However, recent market trends have led to speculation about a potential decline in brand dominance like the Rolex. In this video brought to you by the luxury world, we will take a look at the challenges in the notion of a fall of Rolex, arguing that while the luxury watch market has experienced fluctuations, the brand's core values and enduring appeal continue to solidify its position as a leading force in the industry. If you have yet to subscribe to our channel, we invite you to do so to stay informed about our upcoming videos. These days, the dominance of Rolex seems utterly unassailable, akin to the Palpatine of the watch industry, which is remote, omnipresent, and beyond the reach of most, though capable of exerting its influence widely. That is, until someone disrupts this supremacy, much like a blue milk drinking kid tossing it over a railing. In this case, it is Frédéric Arnault who has taken a significant swing at the Rolex empire. The journey of Rolex has been recounted numerous times, so we will give you a quick montage. In the early 1900s, a German named Hans discovered an untapped niche in British watchmaking, which is what we know as wristwatches. At the time, the Swiss watchmaker were still focused on pocket watches, so Hans took small, high-quality movements from ladies' pocket watches and had them cased as wristwatches in England. During the war, soldiers in the trenches found it more convenient to check their wristwatches than pocket watches, and Rolex started to gain an edge. Rolex then set out to break every wristwatch record for accuracy, water resistance, and functionality. These were not watches for show. Instead, they were built for the battlefield and went on to be worn by professional divers, pilots, scientists, astronauts, cave divers, and racing drivers. However, Rolex missed an opportunity in motorsport. Jack Heuer got his friend Joe Siffert to promote Heuer watches, what we know now as Tag Heuer, throughout the Formula One circuit, establishing Heuer's dominance in F1. But in 2013, Rolex struck a deal worth $50 million a year to take over the timing duties, a culmination of their growing involvement in motorsports. Despite the initial flop of the Daytona model in the 60s, Rolex had secured timing partnerships for major motorsport events like Le Mans, the Daytona 500, and others. Formula One has been the crowning jewel. Many people have been supporting F1 way back then up to this date, and its popularity has soared. The success of the Netflix series The Life and Times of Gunther Steiner, and the upcoming film where a 60-year-old competes for the F1 championship by excelling in the most physically demanding part of the race, which are the corners, has brought F1 into a new era of relevance for Rolex. Rolex and Formula One share a powerful constructive collaboration. Both are pinnacles of their respective industries, embodying precision, performance, and a relentless pursuit of excellence. This partnership, forged in 2013, has elevated both brands to new heights. Rolex, as the official timepiece of Formula One, provides the heartbeat of the sport. The iconic Rolex pit lane clock is a constant presence, its precision a testament to the split-second decisions made during pit stops. Moreover, Rolex's association with legendary drivers like Sir Jackie Stewart and its current roster of ambassadors reinforces the brand's connection to speed and adrenaline. Checked on the status, and the average F1 fan tends to have deep pockets. Even Taylor Swift would balk at the ticket prices. Lando Norris's salary is practically covered by the cost of a single race day hot dog. Rolex is not the only watch brand in the game, though. Brands like Tag Heuer, Rolex subsidiary Tudor, and Richard Mille sponsor teams and drivers. Richard Mille, for example, secured Fernando Alonso early, giving them priority over team sponsor Gerard Perregaux. However, it is Rolex that is seen 800 million times around the circuit, with its logo prominently displayed on the clocks straddling the pit lane. Interestingly, Rolex tends to support the sports themselves rather than individual ambassadors. They have a small number of publicized friends of the brand, with Jackie Stewart being a notable example. Instead, Rolex sponsors major sports like golf, tennis, and F1, aiming to dominate the entire scene. However, this dominance may be challenged. LVMH, whose watch division is led by Frédéric Arnault, has reportedly made a bid 3 times greater than Rolex's to reclaim the crown. Frédéric's father, Bernard Arnault, is the richest man in the world, with the financial clout to buy almost anything. Yet, he did not amass his wealth by making poor investments, so the move is strategic. LVMH, which owns brands like Tag Heuer, has been lagging behind Swatch and Richemont in the watch sector. In recent years, they have taken significant steps to close the gap. Initiatives like the Louis Vuitton Watch Prize for Independent Creatives and the highly praised Louis Vuitton Ultra Watch by Rexep Recipe have bolstered their position. The Tag Heuer Kith F1 collaboration was well received, displaying their ambition. Now, Tag Heuer aims to present a $150,000 split-second chronograph to nearly 1 billion F1 fans worldwide, marking a bold move for LVMH as Rolex faces a rare challenge in the watch industry. Rolex is the absolute top dog, commanding a quarter of the market on its own. However, when it comes to luxury, LVMH has it beaten many times over. The Red Bull deal with Tag Heuer expires at the end of 2024, coinciding with legendary car designer Adrian Newey's departure and their hopes for another world championship. As Tag Heuer rises to the top in F1, Max Verstappen might find himself downgraded to LVMH teammate Hublot. Suddenly, Mercedes' partnership with IWC does not seem so bad. Tag Heuer will be LVMH's default choice as F1's timing partner. Their other brands like Bulgari, Cnef, Louis Vuitton, and Hublot do not have the same F1 history. Tag Heuer, with its F1 model, seems the obvious choice. Choosing Hublot would be like appointing the Hulk as the UN's ambassador for culture. There might be hiccups, though. In these strange times, you can find yourself comparing the prices of Tag Heuer, Omega, Breitling, and Rolex. Rolex almost looks like a substantial value with its strong residuals, dominant branding, reasonable entry point with the Oyster Perpetual, and overall quality. It is hard to justify choosing a Carrera chronograph over Rolex Datejust. Of course, some will see it differently, and the extra exposure will bring more sales to Tag Heuer. But it feels like they are using F1 to push the brand rather than creating excellent watches first and then promoting them through F1. Maybe that is what Frederick thinks. The split-second Monaco and the glass box chronograph show how better products can elevate a brand. It is easier said than done, but relying solely on brute force marketing seems inefficient. However, when you have as much money as LVMH, perhaps it does not matter. Despite these market fluctuations alongside this F1 career related to luxury watches, Rolex's position as a leading luxury watch brand remains unshaken. Rolex has built a legacy of quality, craftsmanship, and prestige over many decades, establishing a strong brand heritage and reputation. Despite the recent frenzy subsiding, there remains a robust and consistent demand for Rolex watches. The brand maintains controlled production volumes, preserving its exclusivity and value. Moreover, Rolex continues to introduce new models and technologies, demonstrating its commitment to leading the watch industry. In summary, while the luxury watch market has experienced a correction, Rolex's dominance remains unchallenged. What do you think about Rolex leaving F1 and being replaced by Tag Heuer? Do you think Tag Heuer is ready to take on such a position? If you enjoyed the video, we would appreciate it if you let us know by leaving a comment and giving it a thumbs up. Do not forget to follow our channel for more content. Thank you for watching The Luxury World, and we look forward to having you join us in our upcoming videos.